Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome to a Let's Look at the first pack of the New Frontiers Pass for Civilization 6, which is the Maya and Gran Colombia pack, which has, as you might have guessed, 2 new civilizations, the Mayan and Gran Colombia civilizations, along with a new game mode that integrates with Gathering Storm, a few new disasters also integrate with Gathering Storm, and some other stuff as well. This is a sponsored video. It's sponsored by 2K, so there'll be a link down below. If you want to go click that link, it'll take you through to the New Frontiers Pass where you can do that and get access to the 6 packs, one of which is out, which is this one, and 5 of which are also coming over the course of the next year. So click that link down below if you want to go check that out. But we're going to go in and talk about what is actually in the pack straight away. So if we quickly have a look at the civilizations, the first one, because it's in front of me, which is my favorite, is Gran Colombia, Simon Bolivia, whatever. Simon. They are brilliant because their very first ability is +1 movement to all units, and promoting unit does not end that unit's turn. That's so good. I mean, the second part, like, is the rider, is also really good by itself. Promoting a unit, not ending a unit's turn is really, really helpful. I've used that a lot when I've been playing with him. But also, +1 movement to all units is relevant at all times of the game. +1 to scouting? Sure. +1 later on when you're maneuvering and actually doing attacks? Sure. +1 movement is fantastic. It's just so good. Really, just straight up. Brilliant ability. You also get Commandante General. Every time, I think in era advances, you get access to basically a special type of great person, which gives a combat buff to everyone around it, and also has a retire effect, which basically gives you something random. Just like a great person. Stuff like, hey, here's a free advanced military unit, or here's a heal, or other stuff like that. It's really useful kind of general, especially if you just clip them to your entire army. You're running around later in the game with like 3 people who are given combat buffs. Commandante Generals are fantastic. You get a light cavalry replacement, which is fine. They get bonuses for other light cavalry. And you also get the Hacienda, which is basically a special type of upgrade, an improvement for a tile, which gives you +2 gold, +1 production, and +1 housing. And you get food for adjacent plantations, and plantations and haciendas get +1 production for adjacent haciendas, both of which improve with other technologies. Straight up, Gran Colombia is fantastic. The second one is Lady Six Sky, the Mayans, which is a very strange one, because non-capital cities within 6 tiles of the capital gain +10% to all yields. Other non-capital cities, so ones that aren't yours, receive -15%. Oh no, sorry, other capital cities that aren't near you, right, so further away get -50% to all yields. You also get +5 combat strength when near your capital. So you get +10% to all yields if you're within 6 tiles, but if you're not within 6 tiles, you get -15%. Which means that you kind of want this perfect flower formation where you have 7 cities. You have the capital in the center, and then 6 tiles away exactly, or just in 6 tiles, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around it. It's very map dependent, but, you know, +10% is fine. It's just, the thing is, after talking about Simon, this is just, it's fine. You get the, ooh, hello. Settling adjacent to freshwater and coast does not provide extra housing. Instead, each farm, they really like farms, you'll notice this. Each farm provides an additional +1 housing and +1 gold. So getting early game gold and housing from your farms is great, but also you don't get farms from, you don't get housing from being next to freshwater. Bear in mind, you can still get the bonus to housing from the aqueduct. So you don't really want to settle on a river, you want to settle like 1 tile away from the river, and then the aqueduct goes next to the river and gets you the housing later on. Also means that if the river floods, it won't hit your capital. It's interesting. It means you need to rethink about how you're placing your capital and how you're placing your cities. But I can see the benefit, especially early game, getting that housing from farms, especially when you're bottlenecked early game with housing a little bit, that can be helpful. The Holchi is basically a replacement for the archer. It's probably not pronounced Holchi, it's probably pronounced like Hershey. I don't know. Anyone will call it the Holshi. It's basically a replacement for the archer. It benefits slightly from attacking wounded people. And you've got the observatory, which is basically a cheaper, better campus district, which gives you science bonus from plantations and farms, because they like farms. They really do. They really like farms. But, you know, Simon is my favorite. And speaking of which, let's load up Here's one I played earlier. Right, so this is my game that I just quickly whipped up with us playing Gran Colombia with the new game mode Apocalypse, which is it's intense. So the Apocalypse game mode is part of the whole integration with a Rising Storm, which is the expansion that came out recently. Basically has disasters and so on, and Apocalypse takes it to a new level. Now, firstly, this pack also includes 2 new disasters that work with Rising Storm if you have Rising Storm installed, which is Forest Fire, which is basically a fire in a forest that also spreads. So it damages the forest and then it spreads on and it can hurt units, etc. There's also, which is my favorite, Meteor Shower, where a load of meteors go wee, bang, bang, bang. I think I had one here a long time ago, which is interesting because there's ruins. I'm guessing that destroys something. And what will happen is that you can then go claim the Meteor Shower and you get a unit of heavy cavalry, I believe, which I realize why that is for later on. It's like, hey, there are some really cool metals and we made a tank or something. But in the early game, it seems to imply that somehow out of the meteors you are getting horses from space. Which I love that idea. You're just like, hey, disaster? It's okay. Space horses. Anyway, so those are the 2 new ones you get with this pack. However, the Apocalypse game mode is a little different. In the Apocalypse game mode, for a start, turns the disaster frequency up to 4. It maxes it out. And then, when you hit the last stage of climate change, it just goes into overdrive. You get 2 completely new disasters hitting, which are just nuts. The first one is the solar flare, which hits occasionally, and it just hits the entire map. Takes out power plants, damages advanced units, pillages power buildings and improvements, campus districts, industrial zone districts, and spaceports across the entire map. It just blows them all up. And then every turn, when you hit this stage, every turn, comet strikes happen. Comets will just come down, impact the map, and instead of being like the meteor strike where it's like, oh, cool, it landed, and whatever, it will just create an impassable blocker, and it will destroy whatever it hits. And I mean, like, it will destroy whatever it hits. If it hits a wonder, like, oh, say up here, bang, that's gone. That would no longer be a tile. It could hit Taruga here, and this city-state would no longer be a city-state. And they will happen every turn. They will destroy everything, and it will become impassable. Basically, it's like, hey, it's the apocalypse. Like, it is the end of the game. It's not like, hey, we made a few more disasters happen. Fine. No. Instead, it will destroy whatever it hits. So bear that in mind. But it does give you a fun, like, hey, there's only so much time left. Do your thing. Now, it does also include a few other things, which I find particularly amusing. So let's go up here, and with faith, let's buy a Soothsayer. Now, a Soothsayer is an Apocalypse-specific support unit, as you can see, and it can cause disasters for you. Like, it can straight up cause disasters, and it's not a way that, like, people are like, oh, you caused disaster on me, I'm gonna declare war on you, because it doesn't need that to function. It's just, hey, I caused a disaster. Who could have done that? It must be the gods. It's not my fault. Totally not my fault. So you can cause disaster. We can actually grab a few of these. I've deliberately saved up a whole bunch of my faith. Where else? I'm trying to think of who I would want to mess with. Problem is, there are some dams on the map which are going to stop us doing floods. Right. Now, there is a new thing over here, a new competition you can do in Apocalypse mode. Appease the gods. The gods have warned us the end of the world is coming. They will grant their followers boons, but we must first prove our fervor. Only the most zealous will be rewarded. I mean, the end of the world is coming, it's true. But basically, you sacrifice units to the volcano with a Soothsayer unit, and then you gain score equal to the sacrifice. So right now we're on 0, but some of these are on higher ones. What we can do is just say, hey, this musketman unit, I will yeet you into the volcano. Hi. Feel free to just completely obliterate these guys. Battleship versus swordsman. Battleship wins. Ah, civilization. And then we no longer have a musket unit. They are now in the volcano. Okay, let's see if we can get a blizzard. Yeah! We have wrecked 2 tiles, and we fertilized 1 as well. There we go. We've called down a blizzard on ourselves because demonstration purposes. Speaking of which, I did actually early in the game accidentally blow up my volcano. It can be a good call because it does fertilize stuff around it, but at the time it was not a good call. It killed off most of my population. It was not good. Right. Do we have someone else who can do a thing? I was hoping we could do this, but it doesn't look like it. Right, cause disaster. Flood the river. There we go. Oh, we killed off 3 population. Please. Nope, they'll be our population. Damn it. I was trying to get them down here so we could pop this over into China. But there we go. You can do that as well. And murder your own people. Don't use them like this. This is demonstration purposes only. Definitely don't do this. Don't sit at home, kids. Right. And we could set a forest on fire, but I think we will call it there. I was going to try and make our way down to, like, this volcano here, possibly. Okay, and the pièce de la résistance. Let's blow up a volcano. Oh, yeah. Damaging 2 tiles, 3 population lost. Beautiful. And I wasn't even at war with Korea. Lovely. So, that's the very, very quick skinny on the first pack of the New Frontiers Pass. There'll be a link down below if you do wish to go check out the New Frontiers Pass, which will actually then have 5 additional packs coming out over the course of the next year. This is the Maya and Gran Colombia pack. Gran Colombia is definitely the best in my opinion, and they are pretty badass. So with that said, I've been EnterElysium. If you do want me to play some more Civ 6, it's been a while. There's been a load of additions since I last played it. Please let me know down in the comments. I'm very interested to see what you say, and I might well just end up playing as Gran Colombia at this rate. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay shiny.